Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another in-depth first-person walk around here on NNT Auto Reviews. My name is Tyler behind the camera, and this is the 2021 Audi SQ7. So, before we get into all the details on the vehicle, I'd like to cover the window stickers so we know exactly what we're working with. And the way Audi sets their window stickers up is on the left-hand side. We have all of our standard features as well as your warranty information. Right down below it, we have our parts content. So it looks like 1% of parts actually come from the US or Canada. 51% of the parts come from Germany and 28% from Slovakia. And the final assembly point is in Slovakia. The engine and transmission, both sourced from Germany. Over here is the most important column, kind of in the middle, and that is our options and packages. Now this is a prestige model, which is pretty much the trim level. It goes premium plus, which is sort of your base model, and prestige. This is the prestige package, or trim level I should say. But starting off with our options, we have the optional white metallic paint, which comes in at $595. That prestige trim level, which comes standard with the executive package, the driver's assistance package, heads-up display, and dual pane glass, as well as the soft closed doors. And we will get into what all those packages contained in the prestige trim level are. Since each one of those packages comes with so much equipment, they couldn't list it on the window sticker there. We have also the laser headlights package, which comes in an extra $1,250. The black optic package, which gives you the exterior kit, and you'll see all the blacked out elements throughout the vehicle, as well as it gives you some pretty cool 21-inch wheels. We have the carbon vector inlays on the inside, which is an extra $750. The towing package, the S Audi beam rings that when you open the doors, the projection of the S logo will go onto the ground, which is pretty cool. We have the protection package, the cargo cover, and the wheel locks kit, and a destination charge of $1,095. And it looks like the total suggested price for this car is right at $97,910. If we take a look to the right of the options list, we have all of our shipping information as well as crash test ratings. This car isn't rated yet. It pretty much just came out on the 2021 model year, so no one has really rated it yet. Then we also have our fuel economy ratings as well. Now, taking a step back to look at the side profile of the new SQ7, we have a 117.9-inch wheelbase. We are working with the optional Glacier White Metallic, and that is one of 8 different color options available. And taking a walk around back to the SQ7, you got a nice 3/4 angle towards the rear for you. We could talk about our drivetrains. Now, a little bit of history about the SQ7. Now, this current generation Q7 came out in 2017, and over in Europe, they always had an SQ7 since 2017, but it had a 4-liter turbocharged V8 diesel. Now, of course, we don't get diesels here, so we never got the SQ7 until the 2020 model year when they revamped the Q7. Now we get this beautiful SQ7 with a turbocharged V8 petrol. Obviously, quattro all-wheel drive will come standard with all Q7s, and you can tow about 7,700 pounds as equipped with this towing package. Okay, so let's now really get into the details, and we can start out front with the headlamps. Now, obviously you saw on the window sticker that we have optional laser headlamps, and of course across the Q7 lineup you're going to get LEDs as standard, but this car has the laser headlights, which is pretty awesome. They also give you a pretty neat animation when you unlock the car, so it's kind of like a little greeting light. Looks very nice. Your turn signals, LED daytime running lights, everything that isn't a laser is LED powered. Really pretty cool attention to detail in the headlights too. Take a look at that little shape right there, and then you also have a laser warning unit there to not stare directly into the beam. See these little trapezoidal objects right there. Those are actually your headlight cleansing system. So you have very large air intakes off to the side, and you can make out the intercoolers to help keep this V8 breathe. We have 2 sensors to either side for your adaptive cruise control. We have the nice large Audi rings with the camera down below and your SQ7 badging. And you can see that this car obviously does have the black optic package, so you have the black surround all the way around the grille, down below there. And you also have it that runs all the way down there, so that's pretty much what the black optic package. It just kind of blacks out the trim that goes all the way around. Here, I'll show you guys a Q7 with the normal aluminum optic package. You can see everything is kind of aluminum there. A very nice looking front end for the SQ7. It's all business up here. Taking a look up at the hood, it's a pretty nice size to fit the V8 under the hood. And we do have some character lines on the side, also some towards the center. And if we take a look down at our wheels, we of course have the black optic wheels, which are 21-inch wheel setup there with the all-season tires. And they measure 285, 40, 21 up front. So you have some very massive rotors and some pretty massive calipers as well. It looks like you have a 6-piston caliper setup up front. One more thing I'd also like to point out is you can see the wheel arch moldings are all body colored going all the way down. Very nice, sleek look at that. Again, you can see all of the moldings surrounding the windows are gloss black, including the mirror covers. We have a camera down below for the both the 360-degree view and the 3D view. We also have blind spot warning on the inside of the mirrors. As you can see, this little black rectangle that'll light up yellow if someone's in your blind spot. We of course have the smart key entry pad for both the front and rear doors. And if your key is in your pocket, you could just press the little button right there. It'll lock the doors. And if you want to unlock, just put your hand behind the handle. And I'll also show you guys the soft close mechanism. Just kind of latch the door like that, and it'll suction it right up. And that also goes for all 4 doors as well. Pretty nice flared out rear door and into the fender, which looks pretty nice. Looks like same size tires back here and same size wheels as well. Ventilated rotors back here. And you also have the little Audi Sport emblem on the lip of the wheel as well. You have nice black roof rails, the shark fin antenna, and a panoramic roof up there you could see. You also have these spoiler extensions in the gloss black. As you'd expect, all the tail lights back here are LED powered. Nice dynamic turn signals. And you have this beautiful accentuation that goes all the way across the rear tailgate, and that seems to be a design cue that Audi's been using since the 2020 model year. So if anything's been updated, anything's been redesigned, it'll have this long kind of line that accentuates the depth of the rear of the car. As far as badging back here, it's pretty minimal. You have the SQ7 badging and the rings. You also have the trunk release and rear view camera system, parking sensors spanning the rear bumper, and real exhaust tips. Take a look at that. You have the gloss black trim, again part of the black optic package, and your tow hitch receiver. Okay, now let's take a look at the heart of the SQ7. Okay, so opening the hood, you have a little latch right here, right in the center. You just move over once it's popped. And following suit of all new cars, you have a nice large engine cover, unfortunately. But if we take a look in there, we have some weird looking Christmas colored wires, and that is actually for your mild hybrid setup. So this car is a mild hybrid, and it uses an electric engine to give the car a faster startup time on auto start stop. Also, to go along with the auto start stop, it will, when you're rolling to a stop sign or to a red light, it'll actually shut the engine off while you're still rolling, and that mild hybrid small electric engine will keep all the accessories going and shut the gasoline engine off, obviously to give you better fuel economy, because this is quite the gas guzzler. So again, big huge engine cover, but at least they dressed it up a little bit. It's pretty nice looking. You can see a little bit of the engine in there. Also behind, you could see the exhaust come out the rear, and lots of heat shielding. There's a better view of the valve covers there. We have dual hood latches to increase the rigidity of the car, and the motor oil weight is 0.40. So now we'll focus more on the interior, and this might take a little while because there's a lot to cover on the interior. We'll first start out with options that you have on the interior. So as far as colors go, we obviously have the black leather interior. You can choose a gray or a red if you'd like to. And as far as trims go, obviously we have the optional carbon trim, but you can also get a gloss oak wood trim as standard. As far as materials on the door, they are pretty nice. We have a soft touch up here as well as down here, and then your leather armrest Alcantara inserts right over here. We also do have the standard Bang & Olufsen sound system. If you want an even more musical power than that, you can option on the 23 speaker 1900 watt audio system that costs over $5,000. But I think you'll be just fine with the standard speaker setup. As far as buttons and switches go, down here we have the trunk release. Taking a look up north, we have individual child locks for both the rear doors, window controls obviously, and then your joystick to control your heated and power folding mirrors. You have a nice metallic handle with your lock unlock and 2-person memory. I have a bottle holder down here and some storage as well. You have this nice S illuminated door sill right here. Taking a look at the left of the dash, you have a very nice leather and stitched dashboard. The stitching goes all the way up and around the speaker on the dash as well. You have your air vent and your lighting controls, which are pretty much like a touch sensor here. As you can see, it'll actually show up in the gauge display as well. And you also have front all-weather lighting. You have some more of the carbon trim that you'll see throughout the vehicle. And you can also make out the power tilt telescoping steering wheel knob there. And our nice aluminum pedals. Little storage tray over here, actually a quite large storage tray. Goes in pretty deeply and it's all felt lined. And we'll take a look at our seats, and they are fully powered, obviously, with the 4-way lumbar. Very beautiful attention to detail and a very comfortable seat. Completely different seats from the regular Q7. This is more of a sort of a sporty style bucket seats, and you can really see the bolstering. Also shoulder bolstering too, which is very comfortable with the S logo and fixed headrests. Very nice contrast stitching and perforation in the leather with your diamond stitch. Very beautiful seat. You even have the leather that goes all the way across. Alright, so let's hop in, start it up, and we'll check out the rest of the driver's cabin. Okay, so here's the key fob for the vehicle, and it's the newest Audi key that Audi has come out with. It's a very slim, sort of lightweight key, but you could tell it's got some quality to it. You have the piano black, as well as the metallic accents on the side. You have the Audi rings, lock, unlock, trunk release, and your panic button at the top, and also a little button to release the physical key that's inside. Audi even gives you a little key holder right here in the middle of the cup holders. Obviously you do have push button start. That beautiful sound of the V8 roars to life. Alright, so let's start off the driver's cockpit portion of the interior with what's right in front of us. And is of course this beautiful steering wheel. You have soft leather on the top and in the bottom, and then you also have this nice dimpled leather that you see in a lot of the RS cars. Audi really does make pretty much the best steering wheel to hold in your hands. You have a beautiful grip right here that kind of tapers off, and you could really hold that steering wheel very nice. You have grip bolsters up here, stitching on the inside, and just a beautiful overall look to the wheel. Nice small airbag cover with the rings, and also a reminiscence of the grille that's on the front of the car. So the grille surround also on your airbag cover. Nice little S logo with your metal spokes towards the bottom. As far as functionalities of the wheel, we have controls over here for your digital cockpit. And we also have Bluetooth and audio controls on this side, with a special button to where you could program what you want this button to do. So when we go into settings, I'll show you what this button can do. Attached to the steering wheel are your paddle shifters. So you get a nice little click when they go into gear, and they are absolutely immediate with the gear changes. You also have your adaptive cruise control stalk right here, your turn signals, high beams, and the ability to shut off your lane keeping assist right here at the end with this button. And then over here we have a stalk for your front and rear wipers. And up here is our famed Audi virtual cockpit. And we'll go into a couple of things here, since there are a couple of new updates for the S models and also just for the 2021 model year. So again, we're going to use all the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel to control the screen. First off, we have this view button, which will completely change the view of the screen. It'll make your tachometer sort of this hockey stick design, which is really cool. And it'll definitely emphasize the tachometer, the speedometer, digital, by the way, and what gear you're in, which is pretty darn cool. You can click the view button again to get everything in the middle that is more kind of prominent. On this side, you'll have a kind of cool picture of the Q7 and your oil temperature, as well as your boost gauge. If we use the scroll wheel, we can go down into different driver information. So we have short and long-term memory, your real-time miles per gallon, as well as things such as your heated seats. So if you turn on your heated seats, you'll get a little indication that your heated seat is on. You also get a bar at how much miles per gallon you can actually save by turning it off, which is pretty interesting. Scrolling down farther, we have our driver's assistance screen, and when we have our lane keeping assist active, it's actually pretty cool looking. When it detects the lines, you'll have green that goes on either side, and that means your driving aid is active. Then we also have our traffic sign information. That pretty much does it for the driver information screen, and we can use these different arrows to go between your audio, phone screen, and navigation. So I'll go over to the audio. You can see you could change your stations over here as well, over to your phone screen, and over to your navigation. Now this pretty much changes the game. It minimizes your tachometer and speedometer, although if you wanted it bigger again and still want the nav screen, you can go like this. However, the map becomes absolutely massive. You can scroll in and out with the buttons right here on the steering wheel. Then you can also set up different your destinations, map orientation, and all your different contents and whatnot by just clicking this page button here. I also wanted to show you that button with this screen here, so you can go between your different trip computers, your lap times, all of that good stuff, and then you can also turn on a reduced display. So there's really not much in the middle, just your essentials are there. We also have our lap timer right there, which is pretty darn awesome to have in a 3-row SUV. That pretty much does it for just a short overview of the virtual cockpit. Move up to the upper dash where you have a couple of speakers and your heads-up display, so you can see it right on the corner grille of that A5 with the speed. Also, your speed limit will show up when you're on the road, as well as navigation directions. Pretty useful, pretty cool. Very nice upper dashboard, completely leather again. Air vents that go right here and here, so you can adjust them up and down. You can kind of see where they end right over here. And then it continues on to another air vent all the way at the end. Kind of the central section is not an actual air vent. It's just a pretty cool styling cue. Now we'll take a look at the top screen here first, which is pretty much your main kind of like infotainment screen. And we'll go into each menu quick. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it will take up a lot of time. This pretty much works like a tablet, and it's extremely responsive. One of the better systems out there right now. You can swipe from the top, get quick information, and then go back to home. And it's kind of like a capacitive touch system, so you kind of have to give it a little bit of force, and then you'll have this feedback, very small audible feedback, and a little bit of a vibration in the screen to let you know that you actually clicked it. This is our audio screen that we're in right now. You could change your source with the button right there. Going back, we have all of our different stations, and we can categorize. We have our media screen, phone screen, navigation, and in case you were wondering, you can have a map over here and also in the digital display, which is pretty cool. You could input your destination up here. You also have your navigation options. Over vehicle settings, and you could see you could pull up your drive select, which just does have quite a few different modes. Even though this is the SQ7, you have an off-road mode. Actually raise up the air suspension automatically. We have an all-road mode, comfort, automatic, dynamic, and an individual mode. When you press that individual mode, you can actually customize what you'd like each system to do. So you can customize your drive mode, your suspension, steering feel, and your engine sound. As you can hear, the exhaust valves open up, and you get a beautiful, very burly sound from the 4-liter V8. This new V8 that they came out with is actually really, really nice sounding. The previous 4-liter V8s were kind of subdued. Now this one really has a nice growl to it, and I'm really pleased to say that. We have favorites, so we could just select what you want to have on your favorites screen here. And this is a pretty nice home screen where you can have a combination of what your radio is doing, what your nav is doing, and something else if you'd like. We have all of our different settings, so general settings, quite a bit of customization. I also want to show you the sound settings, the treble, bass, and your balance and fader. This is also standard a 3D sound system, which is pretty awesome. Actually, I wanted to circle back to your vehicle screen to show you one more thing. Your seats menu, so you have even more customization with your seats. You can hug or loosen both the top and bottom bolsters, which is really cool. And you could also extend the leg extensions. So there really are no buttons to do this on the seat itself, but pretty much once you get all this set up, you probably won't touch it too often, so it's not too bad. And you can also use this screen to switch to the passenger seat as well, which has the same exact customability. One more thing I wanted to show you was the interior ambient lighting. So they have a few different themes, and you can have like two different colors. So one color will be like up on the lines, and one color will be like up underneath. So you can set them the same color or the same or two different colors if you'd like. Adjust your brightness, and also individual colors. So you can choose between the surfaces. You can see all of your different colors, so 30 different colors, spanning from all your different blues, purples, greens, all kinds of things. You can turn your footwell lighting on and off. We also have different screens in here that has to do with like your Audi Connect. So if you have the weather, your calendar, news, all that kinds of things. Then you could also purchase different apps to put in here. Pretty neat thing is they also have different users. So if you get in a car, your wife's been driving it, you get in, you press user number 1, say you're user number 1, and all your settings will come back. All your sound settings will get remembered in the screen and everything. It's really pretty cool. So I spent enough video time on this screen. Let's take a look at the lower screen, and that really has to do mainly with your climate control. This also has the same sort of capacitive touch system as the top screen does. We have our temperatures to either side. I believe this is a 4-zone climate control. So we can either press the plus or minus or slide, which is pretty cool. They give you that option, so you don't have to keep touching. We have where you want the air to blow, as well as your fan speed in the middle. You can also slide that up and down. Of course, it is an automatic climate control, and you have both your heated seats over here and your cooled seats, your air conditioning. You can press the little dots up here, and your heated steering wheel control will come on. You can also adjust the rear from the front. Turn that off, it'll come back to your front. Also, you have an off and your recirculating, and then your passenger climate for the seats as well. We do have a small array of buttons up here to turn off your auto start stop, a hill descent, to also customize kind of like a small screen over here. Your garage door openers are to the screen, so if you press that, it will ask you to program a few different garage doors if you'd like. And also you could turn on and off your heads-up display, as well as your to turn the screen on and off, the upper one anyways. Also attached to the screen are some actual buttons. Same capacitive feedback, but it's not an actual screen. You have your quick drive mode select here, traction control off, the hazards button, as well as your front and rear defrost. We have a couple of buttons down here, nice metallic work for these buttons, and these are actual buttons this time. So you have your start stop logo right here. I like how they put the black in the center. That's new for 2021. And then you also have your parking cameras button, which we will come back to. And if you press this button here, we have our driver's assistance menu. So we have a maximum amount, a basic amount, or an individual amount. And if you press the individual, it's kind of like selecting your drive mode setup, where you can turn on and off individual safety systems. Pretty cool to see that. I like that they included that button. Then of course you have your volume knob right here. So coming back to the parking cameras button, there's one thing I'd like to show you. It'll activate your parking sensors and bring up your cameras. So your 360 degree top down view will come up over there, and then whatever camera setting you have over here will come up over on the larger side. Now right now it looks like we have our front view kind of like a 180 view, so you can see the Q3 over there and the edge of the A3 over here, and that's how far that camera spans. So pretty cool. And if you go to the regular front view, you could still see the TT over there and the edge of the Q3. We can get a larger top-down view right there, a rear view, a wide-angle rear view, the front tire view, and the rear tire view. Now lots of different camera settings here, but that's not even the coolest part. You can press the 3D button right here and move all the way around. You can either zoom in and out if you'd like to look at a certain object. And what's really cool is everything kind of happens in real time. So if you put on your turn signals, those will actually light up. If you turn the steering wheel, the wheels will move, which is just really cool to me. The amount of technology in these new cars is just truly fascinating. And this is really a good system here. So we'll exit out of that. And we'll come down to the last couple of buttons and the gear selector. So we do have an 8-speed automatic, a torque converter, so it's not the dual clutch. And we have the electronic gear selector. Very nice dimpled leather on the top, as well as some nice metallic accents. You have the unlock that you need to press to put it into any gear. And we can bring it directly down into drive. If we also bump the gear selector like this, it'll put it automatically into a sport mode. Then you could also put it to the side and put it in manual mode, and you can switch gears on the shifter as well as the paddle shifters. If you want to put it into neutral, you just put it half a click up, and reverse is the rest of the way up. And each gear you're in will light up down there. And put it in the park, you just press the button right there. Right to the side or in the back of the gear selector, you have your electronic parking brake. Obviously, when the light is red, the parking brake is active. Press down to deactivate, pick up to activate. Obviously, make sure your foot's on the brake before you do any of that. You have some beautiful trim that comes all the way down the center console too. So the combination of the leather starting down here, a little bit of gloss metal, the carbon fiber, some more of the gloss metal, and then the gloss black. So very beautiful and upscale materials. Now we have a center console that slides back and forth and also lifts up. Not a whole lot of storage in here, but you do have a wireless charging pad. A little bit of storage here to put either some pencils or pens, and you can also put something on this rubber tray here. And you also have 2 USB-C inlets there. So taking a look up here, we have a frameless and auto-dimming rear view mirror. We also have the center stack up here with some touch illumination, LED of course. and some various buttons to control lighting, some service call or an SOS button, and we also have the controls for both your sunshade and sunroof. So this is with the shade closed right now. It doesn't block 100% of the light, but it is a black color, so it blocks most of it. And the sunshade control is separate from the sunroof, so you can see once we have the sunshade open, it lets in a nice amount of light. And we also have the button right here for the opening of the sunroof itself, the glass part. So just the portion above the driver's head opens. It'll either tilt or go back over the rear portion of the glass. We also have some nice sun visors up here, which you can pull back towards the side, and they also extend. And then if you have your sun visor extended over here and you want sun also blocked from the front, you just flip this one down and you pretty much have complete protection from the sun. You also have a little light right here for your mirror that you could open up. This particular car has the cloth black headliner. You can also get a suede headliner as an option. And to finish off the driver's cockpit, you also have a grab handle. So at this point in the video, which was obviously the longest, we'll go ahead and adjust my driver's seat to a suitable position for myself. I am 5'10", and we'll check out the second and third row seats. Alright, so let's see what the second row seat firstly has to offer. Now, one thing about these newer Q7s that came out in 2017 is the rear doors are so unbelievably solid when you close them. You could almost feel it in your chest. Take a listen to that. It's got such a beautifully solid sounding sound when you close the door. Taking a look back here, we have these nice window shades that'll clip up top. Obviously that's for both the rear doors. We have a little covered storage tray, which is also removable if you need to clean it out. Nice materials, pretty much the same as up front. We have the carbon and some nice metallic work, a speaker on a door, and a nice sized door pocket. A smaller but still illuminated door tray there. And I've set up the seats back here so that you can see that they can recline. So you see this one is pretty much fully reclined at the moment. And the center seat, you can also recline as well, but I left it in that position. If you want to fold down the seats, you just pull this handle right here. That's also how you recline them. It'll actually lock in place, and it's really a two-person job to get that up from the locking. You also have these nice cushions here that you can remove, and the child seat anchors are underneath them. Nice headrests you can move up and down. Also have headrests on the center, which can go up and down as well. We'll fold down the armrest. You can see that there's some cup holders that pop out. And you can also see it's a little bit easier to put up the headrests from that position as well, and it also locks into place. So I'll hop in really quick. We'll see how much room we have back here. So a good 3-4 inches sitting behind myself. That might not sound like a lot, but just remember this car does have 3 rows of seating. It also has 500 horsepower, so that sounds like a recipe for a really, really fun family car. Very nicely appointed back here. So we have just as many air vents, if not more, than up front. So we have some that'll air that'll come to your head with these here. You can also turn them off if you'd like. You have coat hooks. Map pocket back here. We also have a rear climate. So these are basically for your body. So the heat will come out for your body here. And we have a very nice touchscreen right here. You can adjust the temperatures, the fan speed, where you want the air to blow, and turn on your heated seats. So very nice amount of customability here. You also have 2 more USB-C inlets and a 12-volt power outlet. Not a very big hump for the center, so you could definitely fit a person, probably a full-size adult in the center, on the center seat here. Beautiful attention to detail on the rear seats as well. Very comfortable. You can see you have grab handles, touch illumination, with actually illumination around the LED light so that you can see where it is at night. And the panoramic sunroof in conjunction with the rear headrests pretty much meets it right there, which is awesome. You also have speakers behind the rear headrests, thus making it the 3D sound system. But at this point in the video, I'm going to show you how to get to the third row seats. I'm even going to hop in for you to show you how much room there is. So what you want to do is first grab this handle, fold it down flat. Then you also have these this handle right here where you push, grab it up, and the seat will fold up just like that, and it actually has a strut that keeps it up. Then you have your buttons right here to fold up and down the seats. Now there's quite a bit of accessories back here, so I'm going to go around, pull them out, and we'll see what the rear row of seating looks like. Okay, so now all the accessories are cleaned out. You have these 2 buttons that'll automatically fold up your third row seats. These buttons are also on the other side in the same position and in the trunk. So I'm going to hop in here, which is actually a pretty easy process. Now, of course, it is a little bit snug back here. I'm going to see if I could fit with the seat up. So someone my size will probably have a little bit of difficulty sitting back here, but it's definitely suited for smaller children, or just to be not really used at all, just maybe used at a pinch. As you can see, they do fold flat with the cargo floor, which is nice. Also, to get out, or to fold the seat back up rather, you have the little latch right there. Actually, it's not too bad. You can reach over, lock the seat in place, and push the handle back up. And the seat will pretty much just go up by itself, and you could climb right on out. And quickly, last thing on the interior, I'd just like to show you the passenger space really quick. You can see the door panels are pretty much the same, just a few less buttons. Same powered controls, which is very nice. And in the glove box, you have a very nice amount of space. They even give you a little wipey for your screen there. Okay, so opening the trunk on the SQ7 is extremely easy because it's fully powered, coming standard obviously. Up here you have the buttons to close the trunk or lock the vehicle and close the trunk. You also have lighting that shines towards the ground. And we have a couple of buttons over here. This will raise and lower the air suspension in the rear. So if you have something heavy you need to lift into the load floor, you can put the car down. And we also have the buttons over here that'll lower and raise the third row seats. So I kind of split folded the rear seats so that you could see how much room you'd have at each section. So behind the third row seats, you'll obviously have as much room as pretty much this cover right here. Behind the second row seats, you can see how much room you have, and behind the first row seats. And again, we can also fold these seats down if you like, or up. Pretty cool. If you take a look under the cover, we have various audio equipment, so the subwoofers back here, as well as your tire inflation kit. We also have LED illumination to either side, where this one is, and some little cargo extensions, and a 12-volt power outlet. And opening the lid to the 22.5-gallon fuel tank. According to the window sticker, you should be seeing right around 15 miles per gallon in the city and 21 on the highway. This car also does have cylinder deactivation to help with that fuel rating. As you can see, you must put premium fuel, and you do have a nice little cap right here where you could put the cap right there so it doesn't dangle down and scratch your paint. So to finish off this video, I hope you have enjoyed the 2021 Audi SQ7 in the Prestige trim level just as much as I have, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And I hope you stay with us here at NNT Auto Reviews for future in-depth walkarounds just like this one.